payment was $400 in increased payment a month just because of the interest rate.
Adding $400 to your payment for your mortgage. That's an Equifax customer hit by the company's major credit mistake. Millions of customers now paying higher interest rates because the company sent lenders faulty credit scores. In fact, some people probably didn't even get loans. Here's how people are affected. The consumer applies for a loan or a mortgage. Equifax gives the lender faulty credit scores, sometimes off by 20 points. Then the bank denies the application, leaving the consumer unable to pay for the home or paying more. Shocking, Equifax CEO Mark Beggar received a $25 million special stock option right before the news broke. That's on top of the $44 million in compensation from the company over the past 3 years. It's a trend, of course, for CEOs caught up in scandals. 2013, J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, $20 million, even after the company was caught up in a money laundering case. Big Five Wall Street executives brought in an estimated $80 million during the 2008 financial crisis that they created. So it's business as usual. Consumers get hurt, shareholders pay, lawyers get rich, and the CEOs get richer. Bring in radio host Tony Katz, author of Let's Go Bourbon and voice of Indianapolis. I wish it would surprise me, but now it just sort of makes you kind of half angry, half disgusted, and another half dejected.
You know,
that's three halves, but there you go.
According to that math, you could run Equifax. I have a bit of a different take here. 20 million customers were affected by this issue with the credit scores. 20 points up or 20 points down. Now you add to this that this is Equifax, and in 2017 they had that breach where 150 million customers were affected. At what moment do we, the people, say, you know what, we're tired of Equifax, stop paying attention to them? As a matter of fact, if you're a bank that utilizes Equifax, we're not going to get a mortgage through you. When does that moment start taking place? Because with Equifax, it's not that somebody gets a bonus. You can argue you never like those things, or you do like those things, or it's the market and they can do what they do. It's that when they fail us so greatly, why do they keep getting to tell us why they're so important? They're clearly not. If they were important, they would care about us more.
Right. Probably because the CEO of Equifax spends a lot of time playing golf with the CEOs of all the banks after they've gotten their big bonuses, and that's why the banks continue to do business with them. I digress. The bigger question, and you bring up a great one, because we've talked about the cultural issues, right? When there's going to be a big boycott of this brand or that brand or whatever. It never happens. And are we to believe essentially that the Americans, plural, have really no power over this ruling class, even if we do try to band together, because we're not willing to band together over anything?
So I think part of it is that we are now so used to the level of breaches and the mistakes and everything else. We go, oh, crap, they did it again. And we go about our day because we have to get back to work, and we're dealing with inflationary pressures, and we're trying to get the kids to school and a million other things. But there should be a level of disgust here. Equifax is failing the American people. And if we are going to sit there and rely on them for our literal futures, you talk about the clip you played earlier, $400 a month. $400 a month is $4,800 a year. It is life-changing for families. Now, some people may not understand that. Those are people who live inside the Beltway. The rest of America, Midwest Main Street, understands how huge that number is. That's the difference between getting the house in the school district you wanted for your children and not. That's the difference between having to be able to, or being able to provide for more savings or not. Equifax should get punished, not by the federal government.
Let me ask you this, though. Should it be Equifax, though? Or, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this out loud, should it be the federal government? Should it be does Elizabeth Warren have a point then that CEOs of companies that do wrong by consumers must be held personally responsible? If the CEOs of the airlines who got bailed out by the federal government lost their jobs, CEOs of the airlines in the future would put more in a rainy day fund.
So, two things about that. I don't mind when people lose their jobs. I think it's good for morale, at least of everybody else who didn't lose their job. But you said something problematic there. Elizabeth Warren is never right, because she believes that government is the answer, and she should be the one in charge of the government, in charge of the answer. The American people just have to say, we're done. We've had enough. If you utilize Equifax to determine my mortgage, I'm not doing a mortgage with you. Forget it. And if enough people were to engage that way, which is, well, maybe maybe difficult, but maybe easy. I'm not 100% sure. You could see some real differences. Maybe a mea culpa from Equifax. This is twice, guys. This is garbage.
Yeah, I think we're going to wait a long time for any mea culpas. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
See you in a minute.